Hey guys, Ryan G. Wright with DoHardMoney.com. I'm standing here by my Ayn Rand signature, which is super cool because it actually is on a dollar certificate. If you haven't read Atlas Shrugged, I highly recommend it. One of my favorite quotes is, "I swear by my life and my love of it that I will never live for the sake of another man nor ask another man to live for mine." Check it out. I named my first son after a character, well, not a character in the book, but the only name that I could possibly think of that was good on this book. Check it out. Today's question of the day, because this is a Just Ask Ryan question video, is what is buy and hold in real estate? So people say, I'm doing a buy and hold. What does that mean? So great question. Thank you for asking it. If you've got a question like that, or any question you'd like to ask me, type it in the comments below. If you type it in the comments below, I'll put a video together just like this for you. And I really appreciate this question. So basically, there's multiple strategies to make money in real estate. One of those strategies is buying a property and holding on for a long time. So the whole concept of buy and hold goes to the quote, "Don't wait to buy real estate, buy real estate and wait." And what we've seen over the last 50 years is real estate values continue to go up. Even with the 2008 crash, even with some of these other corrections or crashes and those things, over the long haul, over the long period, if you own that real estate, it's going to go up in value. So the question really is how can you have the staying power to hold that property for a very long time? And the answer is you've got to buy the property right. So you need to be buying a property to hold where you can actually, at a minimum, break even if rents went down. So what I like to do is say, what were rents like in that area back in 2008? One of the worst times. We didn't see rents like crash, but if I can look at average rents for my area over a long period of time, and I can look at what the worst case scenario rents will probably be on this property, as long as I'm not buying like a high-end house, if I'm buying something that's in the FHA price range or even a little lower than the FHA price range for my area, and then I'm probably gonna have the biggest buyer's pool. Because here's what happens. When there's a correction in the real estate market, or otherwise known as a crash, what happens is everybody makes a move down, right? So you've got people that are in $1 million houses that are moving to $500,000 houses, and $500,000 houses are moving to $250,000 houses, and people in $250,000 houses are moving in with their mom. Like, there's this whole move down. So when I'm investing in a long term, I want to be in the lower brackets or the lower tiers. Now, I don't want to be in the lowest tiers. I don't want to be dealing with neighborhoods and areas that are like war zones. I want to be in blue collar neighborhoods where I feel comfortable with my wife walking down the street alone at night. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And I also want to be in something that's going to be, more family oriented, not because I'm going to end up with people staying longer. And that doesn't mean it's like the traditional family living there. It could be any type of family. But if it's got 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms in my area, I'm typically going to keep that tenant much longer. So I'm looking for homes that are in that blue collar area, not in the really low class or the slumlord type areas. And I'm looking for something that I can get a family situation that's going to be there for a long time, is what I'm looking for. Integrate to the community, kids go to the schools, those types of things. Because what happens is, as they do that, that family or family unit is going to be staying there much longer. So that's the whole idea with buying and hold real estate. The objective with buying and hold real estate is a few. Number one objective, I want to see the property appreciate in value. So if I bought a property for $150,000 and maybe worth $300,000 down the road, that's huge. That's number one. Number two, I want to be cash flowing. So a portion of what they pay me versus what I have to pay hopefully ends up in my pocket. You just got to be really careful with this, because you got to take out maintenance, and you've got to take out vacancy, and you've got to take out capital improvements, because those things will happen. You are going to have to replace that furnace. So you want to start adding some money into a savings account so you have the capital to do that. But I want to make some cash flow, right? I'm also going to get some tax savings. I'm going to be able to do depreciation. I may do accelerated depreciation. I may be able to write off the property taxes. I may be able to write off the interest that I'm paying. So that depreciation can help offset other taxes. So that's going to help me as well. In addition to that, there's an amortization. So even if I'm not cash flowing at all, as long as I have, as long as I'm not cash flowing at all, if I am able to have the tenant pay that, as long as I don't have to go negative for any repairs, then what the tenant is doing is every single month is paying down the loan. See, how amortization schedules work on loans is early on, very little of what you're paying goes towards the principal. And at the end, the year 30, the majority goes towards paying the principal. So let's say your payment's $1,000. In the first year, maybe $30 is going to pay down the principal each month. But in year 30, $970 is going to pay the principal, where $30 is paying the interest. This is an amortization schedule. And this is one of the things that people don't realize about getting a traditional loan. And that's why if you buy and sell a house every couple of years, you are not paying down your loan much. You've got to get to a point where you're starting to get that loan really paid down. And so if you can get a tenant to pay that down for you, that tenant is paying off your house, not you. So if the tenant's paying off your house and you're making a little bit of cash flow and property values are going up and rents end up going up over the long term, that's what we call a buy and hold, let alone you're also getting tax benefits along the way. So all of that combined is why buying and hold is a great investment strategy. And I love fix and flips. I love wholesaling. I also love buy and hold. You've got to keep some of that along the way, because if you just do fix and flips, all you're going to end up with is more money. But if you don't do something with that money, you have to keep doing fix and flips. So you're replacing one job with another job. You've got to be slowly integrating some of these rental properties. And I can say for my wealth building, one of the best things I've done is bought rental real estate, buy and hold, and held onto them for a long time. I have properties I bought 18 years ago that I still own to this day, and I am so glad, and some of them have gone up 3 times in value. Got a house just not too far from here I bought for like $80,000, I want to say, that's worth well over $350,000 the way it sits right now. That is phenomenal. But also during that time, rents have gone up, values have gone up. I've written things off with the property and depreciation, and my tenant's been paying down that loan for a very long time. So that's the buy and sell, buy and hold strategy. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. It tells me I'm doing a great job, and it means a lot to me. I've got a couple other things for you to check out. I've got a video, what are the basic types of real estate investments? Check out that video. It can help you with some of these things. I'll link it down below in the comments. I also have a blog you're gonna wanna check out. It's 50 lending terms real estate investors must know. So click on that link so you can read that blog post. If you would like to get my rental calculator, I have a calculator that helps you determine what makes a good rental property or not by the numbers. All you've got to do is send a text to me. All you got to text me is your email address. You don't have to put anything else, just the email address. The text number is 435-294-0433. Again, 435-294-0433. Just text your email address and I will send you out my rental calculator, which can be super helpful for you in these buy and hold type situations. I'll link that in the notes as well. Otherwise, make it a very profitable day, and bye for now.